This is the restaurant location optimizer. This tool is going to help someone decide where they're going to place their restaurant in Manhattan. So to start off, you come to this intro page and you can scroll down and decide which restaurant cuisine type you want. So we're going to go ahead and choose Eastern European. Then we're going to enter in our monthly rent budget. So I'm going to put in 160,000. If I don't have a rent budget, then I'll just leave it blank. And then I'll include how much square footage I think it'll be, and we'll go ahead and say it's 2,000. From there, I'm going to choose the intended ticket price. That's how much I think that any customer is going to spend in my restaurant. And so we'll go ahead and say that that's $2 signs, which means between $11 and $30. From here, I have three options. I can either show results, show the map, or show demographic and competitor data. I'll go ahead and go through all three of them and start off with show results. What show results shows you is a scorecard of which locations or areas in Manhattan are most optimal for the restaurant based on your selected data. What we have here is that Central Harlem North Polo Grounds is the highest ranked location, and that's based on profits. So you see here that the expected profits is higher, significantly higher than the other locations. And so I'm going to go ahead and talk about how we calculated these profits. The profits are the revenue number minus the rent number. And so revenue is calculated by the intended ticket price multiplied by the estimated number of people who are going to come to the restaurant. And that's pulled from data that we found from various sources. Then we account for competition factors when determining how to reduce the amount of revenue based on competition. So there's two competition factors here. There's primary competition and secondary competition. Primary competition is how many restaurants in the surrounding area exist that are of the same cuisine type. And then secondary competition is just in general the number of restaurants in the surrounding area. We use this data in order to see how it affects revenue, and then from there we subtract rent, as mentioned earlier, to determine profits. And that is how we get the information in this scorecard. Once we're done determining what the top locations are, we can scroll down and look where exactly in New York City are these locations. Once we reach this page, we're able to see what parts of New York or what parts of Manhattan are most optimal based on the scorecard from the previous tab. And so as you can see here, the bubbles that are bigger are the more optimal locations, and the smaller bubbles are the less optimal locations. In addition, when we hover over one of these, it goes ahead and tells us which location. So here it says Gramercy or Stuyvesant, and it also tells us the ranking that it was given. So here we see that this location has a ranking of 12. Once we're done looking at the map feature, we can go ahead and move back to the original tab. No. And see the demographic and competitor data. So here we have the information for the highest ranked location in our scorecard, and particularly we have demographic data. So it shows you the breakdown by race and the breakdown by age. This is really helpful for a couple of reasons. The race will allow you to, if there's certain race that generally comes to a certain cuisine type of restaurant, this gives you that information. And then age, if you are a family style restaurant, are there kids in the location? Are there more adults in the location, etc.? And then you can scroll down and also see the competitive information specifically for your cuisine type. So for the cuisine type that you've chosen and the location that was scored the highest, you see there's 0 competitors, and so there's no Yelp rating. And then there are 130 competitors of not necessarily the same cuisine type, and their average Yelp rating is 3.6. We've also given a breakdown by ticket price. There's no data here since there's no competitors. And here you can see that the majority of the restaurants are between $0 and $30 ticket prices. This just gives you a good idea before you enter into a location of what your surrounding competition looks like. Now, if I am curious to see what the second highest ranked location or the third highest ranked location information is, I can go ahead and return to the scorecard. See, East Harlem North is the second highest rank, so I'll go back to demographic and competitor data and check out East Harlem North. And there the information has changed for this new location. And so that's an easy way to go ahead and compare different locations for the cuisine type that I'm interested in. And there we have the entire tool that we've created.